Hi! So I'm about to make some kale chips, so I thought you might want to peek in on me and see how I make these. I was making the nori rolls and I realized I have a lot more shelves on my dehydrator to fill, so I thought why not put together some kale chips. I just went to the farmer's market yesterday, so we have lots of fresh kale and I can show you how to make these. So basically you want to get some fresh kale and chop them up, and I tear them with my hands because it's not that serious. You don't have to really get a knife. Into these smaller pieces. So kale chips are basically like chips. We're going to dehydrate them, make them hard, and they're going to be nice and tasty. So whatever your typical chip size is, that's kind of what you're going for. So I just tear these up with my hands. Make sure that you wash the kale. Organic kale is best. And yeah, you just tear them up in these little pieces. Put them in a bowl like this, and now we're going to season them. After they're washed and torn up into smaller pieces, we're going to season them. So the first thing I'm going to put on them is coconut oil. I love coconut oil. I typically use olive oil, but honestly we just ran out, so I'm going to use some coconut oil because I don't want to have to wait until we run to the store to enjoy some kale chips. So I have 1/4 cup of coconut oil, and like I said, olive oil is typically my preference. This is my first time using coconut oil, so we'll see how it goes. So you just want to lightly coat the chips with the coconut oil, kind of move them so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm pouring the coconut oil, and then I'm just kind of mixing them with my fingers, making sure that the coconut oil is evenly distributed on the pieces of kale. Okay. And I have another 1/4 cup of vinegar. I use apple cider vinegar. This is my favorite brand of apple cider vinegar. So I'm going to use that. So I'm pouring that on here too. And again, I just want to coat all of the kale pieces evenly. And then I have sea salt. Love, love, love sea salt. It is absolutely delicious. So I use about a teaspoon. I don't have a teaspoon right now, but I'm estimating. And I just want to lightly coat the pieces of kale with the salt. Not too much. Don't want to get too much salt, but just enough to give it a nice little flavoring. I'm pouring very lightly. Okay, and once you have that all coated, just kind of mix them up with your fingers. Make sure everything is coated with all our yummy seasonings. And you can season these however you want. Think potato chips. So whatever you typically like on your potato chips, then you're going to love on your kale chips. So after they're nice and seasoned, take them from the bowl and line your dehydrator tray. If you don't have a dehydrator, you can use the oven. You'll use the oven on the lowest setting possible. And they take about 10 to 15 minutes. They don't take long in the oven. In the dehydrator, I leave them in for hours. So usually about, I'll say 3 hours. But let me go through the whole process. If that changes, you'll see a little note right now, right below, letting you know how long you should leave these in. So I'm going to line the tray with these. You want one single layer. You don't want them on top of each other, or they'll take longer to dehydrate. Alright, and now that they're lined on my tray, I'm realizing that this is probably the perfect time to salt them. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit more salt on them, just to make sure it got on all of them. And there we go. So these are going to make some yummy, yummy kale chips. So I'm going to put these in the dehydrator. I'll check back with you and let you know how they turn out. Hi, I'm back and the kale chips are ready and they are delicious. Let me show you one of these. So this is what the kale chip looks like. I like my soft crunchy. So I left them in for about 2.5 hours in the dehydrator. Again, if you're using an oven, you definitely don't have to leave them in that long. about 10 to 15 minutes for the oven. But check it. If you're using the oven, check it in about 10 to 15 minutes. If you're using the dehydrator, check it in about 2 hours. And see, you know, if it's the consistency that you like. If not, just leave it in there a little longer until you find your perfect level of crunchiness. So, these are delicious. Let me show you them. So I took the trays out. Here I am. I took the trays out. So as you can see, me and the hubby have already started eating them. But these are my fresh kale chips. So easy, so cheap to make. They're so inexpensive. And there are a lot of prepared kale chips that you can buy in different stores and restaurants. But they're so expensive. They're like $5 to $8 for a little itty bitty container. And you can go to the store, get your own fresh kale, make your own kale chips, season them just like you like. Very easy, very cheap, and such a good snack. So like I said, these are absolutely delicious. See you next time.